The planet's intense gravitational force would have rendered it extremely difficult, if not impossible, for the astronauts to walk, but due to their special suits that could be adjusted to have anti-gravity effect, the astronauts were able to adapt slightly, though the force of gravity was still a bit high on them. The planet has a very red rocky surface with a dim luminosity, as its brightest light was similar to 6:30 a.m. Earth brightness. The light on the planet came from a neighboring dwarf star that radiates light in all directions, and the dwarf planet happens to be within its illuminated zone. The planet has a maximum temperature of about 20 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 8 degrees Celsius with no evidence of life. There were numerous mountains on the planet. For the next 5 hours, the crew were within their ship. Things were starting to get worse as their food supply has started to deplete, though can still serve them for some few years. Dave went into the ship, took a bottle of water from one of their stores, and then gushed the water. Dave, being an astrobiologist and having a degree in clinical laboratory science besides being an astronaut, tried examining some of the samples that were in the collection pocket that the ship has collected during the course of their travel. What he found out were just some empty rocks with no sign of biological evidence in any of the samples. While Maxwell took out one of his son's photo from his pocket and started staring at it while smiling within himself. The dwarf planet has 10 hours of daylight and 6 hours of nighttime. Due to the turbulent nature of the planet's core, the survivor gauge began beeping with a green light about an hour before nightfall. This alerted Chen to investigate, and he discovered that the gravity had dropped to 2G. Oxygen levels of the planet has increased to 23%, with the total halogens level reduced to 1%, while the carbon dioxide levels went to 0.2%. The methane levels dropped to 0.034%, and the nitrogen levels increased to 75%. This is unbelievable. The chemical composition of this environment fluctuates significantly, and it's not stable, and also the gravitational force has drastically reduced to what we can tolerate. I think we can take off our spacesuits for now, Chen suggested, as he observed the display screen with Dave. Then, Dave took off his helmet and monitored his breath. Then he nodded to Chen, who followed suit. They changed to some casual clothes and came outside. Then John used a hand gesture to ask them what was going on, and Chen replied him with a gesture that the environment has become hospitable and he can change as well. The other 3 astronauts then went in to take off their spacesuits and change to casual wears. During the night hours, some spider-looking organisms with 12 appendages started crawling in numerous numbers towards the astronauts. They never knew what was going on until Chen spotted something climbing his left leg. He used a hand torch to see what it was, and he screamed, "Spiders!" The other crew members then rushed up to him, only for them to discover that the entire area has been covered with organisms that looks like spider. They took out flamethrowers from the ship and tried to combat the organisms, and they killed not less than 1,000 within the space of 3 hours. Some of the organisms escaped, while the others